What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a new video. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're having a lovely day whenever you watch this. Listen, guys, in today's video, I want to give you a heads up that this is going to be a long one. I'm going to be talking for a long time about this. This is a very big topic I want to discuss. And if you've seen the title of the video, it's got to do with the whole situation that's going on over at Epic Games right now. There's a lot I want to discuss. So it's kind of going to be like a stream, like videos, for example. Like I would say, like if I'm streaming, I'd just be talking about topics. And I would love to have spoken to you guys like this, but streaming right now, I haven't done a stream. And this is one of the topics I would like to stream, to hear your comments and your inputs. And as the stream goes on, we can talk and have a conversation. But the next best thing is leaving comments on the video, you know. So if you guys have any comments, make sure you guys leave it, you know, as the video goes on and you hear something and you want to comment on it, make sure you leave the comment down below and we can talk about it. But yeah, I wanted to say, by the way, I did record this video yesterday and yeah, I spoke for like over 20 minutes, so like, you know, you can imagine how long the video was. But as the video was going on, the sun was kind of like setting and you just didn't see me towards the end of the video. Like it got very dark. Not that you guys like want to see me or anything, but you guys more interested in hearing what I'm saying. But I just didn't like the way the video turned out. And I was like, nah, I'm not just going to throw this up just because like I feel like I need to talk about it now. So then I just want to throw it up there. I didn't want to do that. So I wanted to do it properly and I have to re-record the whole thing. Woo, you know. So I'm going to talk about it in today's video. And like I said, this is the type of video that's going to be long. You can just throw it on in the background, hear me talk about it. And yeah, feel free to leave your opinions and your thoughts in the comment section below. Was that everything I was going to say for the intro? Yeah, the intro is really long. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So we're going to be reading one of the Twitter posts that this is where I've seen it from. And the conversation on Twitter is like massive right now. A lot of people are discussing it. But I'm just going to go off this Twitter post and then we can jump into my points that I want to jump into. So this comes from Hypex. And if you guys don't know, like if you're not clued up with Fortnite or with anything got to do with like the Epic Games space, Hypex is like a big, I guess you could say he's a creator for Fortnite. A lot of people go to check out his posts on seeing what's coming up in Fortnite, what's new, you know, what's changed in the season, gameplay stuff and whatever. But then it was a day ago, so I think it was on Tuesday. It wasn't today, obviously. Maybe it was Wednesday, between Tuesday and Wednesday. I don't know the exact time. A huge Twitter post. This got a lot of traction. I think it's got like over 6 or 7 million views on Twitter. And the post reads Hypex. The post reads, Epic Games lays off over 1,000 employees. And following from that, below that, it says, today we're laying off over 1,000 Epic employees. I'm sorry we're here again. The downturn in Fortnite engagement that started in 2025 means we're spending significantly more than we're making, and we have to make major cuts to keep the company funded. This layoff, together with over $500 million of identified cost savings in contracting, marketing, and closing some open roles, puts us in a more stable place. End quote. So it's like a quote. I don't know where this quote was taken from. If one of you guys know, let me know in the comment section below. I don't know where that's from. But yeah, listen, this is major news. Okay, I have a few major topics I want to discuss. The first point that I have here on this list, you know, is about the 1,000 employees layoff. Now, for me, what I always hear about like creators of games, developers, you know, people working at a company that creates these games and these experiences for us. There was a recent game, I think, as well. I don't know if it was with Capcom or something else, where it was a big company as well, where they did let a lot of the development team go, and a lot of people were asking questions like, what's going on, what's happening, why is this happening, you know. Obviously we don't know the internal things of what goes on in a business, but it was like a few, I think like 100 or so, if I'm not mistaken. But this is 1,000 people, you know, and this is a life-changing event for 1,000 people to lose their jobs just like that. I don't know if this has been going on behind the scenes at Epic. For us, you know, as the public just reacting to this does seem kind of sudden. This does seem like kind of out of nowhere. So for me, man, I just want to like send out a heartfelt message to like the 1,000 employees. If you know anybody that's been affected by this, man, I'm asking you guys to like, man, you know, keep them in your prayers and keep them, you know. But yeah, anybody who's been affected by this change, I mean, it's insane. Because we were talking about Epic Games, obviously, and Epic Games is a huge company, so they've got a lot of employers and employees and stuff like that. And yeah, this is a major situation that just is happening right now at Epic Games, where over 1,000 people don't have a job anymore at this company, you know. And a lot of people were making posts, and I've seen a lot of developers like do posts on Twitter and stuff like that, talk about their time at Epic Games, you know, thanking the company for the opportunity that they gave them. And this has got to do with a lot of Fortnite developers and people that worked on Fortnite. The game has been let go, and another game as well that Epic Games owns, Rocket League. They also are kind of tied in to Epic Games. So a lot of people also apparently from the Rocket League development team and the Rocket League team was let go as well. And this has all got to do with, like they say in the post, this has got to do to keep the company afloat, to keep it more stable, because they're not in a great financial situation. And unfortunately, when it comes to these things, that's the people that's always affected at the end of the day. And I don't know how many people or who is left, like at Epic Games, who's still working on Fortnite, who's still working on Rocket League, because those are, I would argue, those are Epic Games' two most biggest properties outside of like the Unreal Engine that they've developed and everything like that. But like, yeah, I just wanted to mention it because like I think that is a big deal. To talk about like 1,000 people just like leaving a company. I haven't heard. I don't know if there's ever been another situation like that where 1,000 people just walked out the door. Not walked out the door, but they were let go. But 1,000 people just left the company. The whole environment, the whole dynamic changes. These are teams and connections that form over years. And also the fact that these people worked on the game. That brought us these experiences. Because I used to play Fortnite a lot back in the day. I don't play as much now, but we'll get into that topic eventually. And I suppose, I guess we'll see where it goes to from here, because especially them mentioning like the game's not in a good state, for you to let go of a lot of your developers and a lot of your teams that are working on the game, what does that mean? I understand that the salary is like, they have to let them go because of salary costs or whatever, but I don't know what kind of justification there is. I'm sure it's a very technical and it's a very tricky conversation to open up, especially when someone's livelihood is affected like this. But we're going to jump into the next point, which directly is affected by this. Oh, sorry, hold on. My eyes itching. There we go. Which is directly affected by the layoffs, is the state of Fortnite. Okay. Now, listen, I made a video a while ago, actually, and it's kind of ironic. This is like, I made a video on this on my channel. That I said that Fortnite is one of those games that'll never die. I think I said Fortnite will never die, and I had like a whole video based about it. This is when Chapter 6, I believe, launched, or it was Chapter 6 or Chapter 7 or something. I think Chapter 7. And I was talking about like how Fortnite is one of those games that can always stay relevant, through collaborations, big name collaborations, through constantly innovating gameplay, to having new modes, new features and things like that. Fortnite is always innovating and keeping people like coming back for more. They want to see what's new in Fortnite, what's happening. But recently, as of late, apparently, like the Fortnite state has not been good. A lot of people didn't like the new season that launched. I believe like Chapter 7, Season 1 or something. There was a huge like separation between the community, what the community wanted, and what was going on in the game. And a lot of people weren't finding it, exciting. A lot of people obviously were enjoying it. But majority of the stuff that I saw on YouTube was like, Fortnite's not the same. Why is Fortnite failing? Can we return to simpler gameplay? And I'll say for myself, like, I've played Fortnite. The most recent season I played was when Superman came to the game, which I think was Chapter 6, Season 3 or something. And, like, that got me. Because I was super excited for the Superman movie. And so I was like, oh my word, there's a Superman skin in the game. So I'm going to play it. I'm going to get it. And I'm going to also experience, like, the transformative boss thing where you can become Superman. I thought that thing was kind of cool. And I did enjoy the gameplay as well. Like, the hero system where you can become, like, we start at B, then you go to A, and then you can get like better weapons or your weapons upgrade or something like that. But it's a lot more complicated. It's a lot more in depth and more technical, I guess, than Fortnite used to be. Now, I don't want to get nostalgic or anything, and I don't want to be one of those guys, but I'm going to talk about it now because we are talking about the state of Fortnite. I initially played Fortnite way back. Like, back when lockdown was a thing. I played in 2020. And at the time, that season, believe it or not, was Chapter 2, Season 2. So I'm talking about the Midas season, with the drum gun, with the agency, with Brutus, with Sky, with all those characters, And I was never a shooter kind of guy, I'm not really interested in like the Call of Duties, the Apexes. What else is there? Those are the two major ones that I can think of from the top of my head right now. So those franchises I was never deeply invested in. And neither I was from Fortnite. I knew my friends played it. Like, I played it once at one of my friends' house, and I was like, oh, God, this is kind of cool, I understand the name of the game, you land, and you fight, and you got to win at the end of the game, it's Battle Royale, you have to survive in the 100-player lobbies or whatever. So I was like, this is cool, whatever. But then lockdown happened, and then like I started asking them, oh, what you guys playing? What you guys doing? They're like, no, we're playing Fortnite. We're playing Fortnite. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna give this game a try. And then I jumped into the game, and man, I don't know what it was, but I just got like instantly like attached to this game. Because I would say this, point from my from my perspective, I really did like the simplicity of jumping into a game and learning what the game was about, what to do, and like just the gameplay mechanics in general. Right now, there's a lot of things that's going on in the game with like sliding and mantling and jumping and sprinting. I remember back in the day there was nothing like that, and I can't imagine also playing the game like without it nowadays. I think it's a quality of life change. So a lot of people will still complain about like the way things are now, but they will say like back in the day, oh, if they introduced sprint back then, would people have accepted it? Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, so I was playing Chapter 2 Season 2, and that was when the Travis Scott event happened. Oh my word, that was a big thing as well. That's like one of the biggest events, like musical events, concerts in Fortnite. I know Marshmallow had one, but I wasn't one for them. But the Travis Scott one was so cool, and I was experiencing this for the first time. I never had another experience like that in a game before. Like no other game that I've played has done it. I played a lot of like racing games, sport games, and everything like that. And it's not like and fighting games. And it's not like you can go into a sport game and like go watch the World Cup, or you can go watch league games inside the game, or like it's being recreated in the game with the players. It's not, you don't get that, with like a FIFA or with like a PES or whatever. You don't get that. But with Fortnite, like they have like this avatar of like Travis Scott, and he's got a concert in the game. And I was like, oh my word, what is going on? Like I'm playing a game, but I'm experiencing this concert-like event, and the map is changing, and you can run around, and it's interactive and everything like that, and he's taking you through these different worlds and everything like that. And a lot of people talk about, oh, is OG Fortnite coming back? And I was like, I don't even know, like I didn't play Fortnite OG, so I didn't understand what the hype was at the time. But yeah, then moving on from there, Chapter 3. Oh, before we get into that, actually, I should say, then there was the Midas event, the end of end of season event, I should say, where Midas is trying to control the storm, and like it goes wrong or something, and then it like creates this different kind of storm with the water. And then there was that gameplay change as well, where the storm was like, the storm is usually like you can run through the storm and everything, but the storm was like this huge water barrier that kept shrinking over time on the map, right? So if you get caught in like this tsunami like water wall, it would just spit you out and you could like die to fall damage. So there was that as well. And I think for me, I'm going to say this as a point. For me, that was one of the biggest, coolest things, in the game, is the fact that the gameplay was being tied to the story. Like as the story was progressing, things were changing in the game. Like when bosses appeared, when Midas became, I think there was like the Shadow versus Ghosting as well. You had to like choose which allegiance are you pledging, Are you going to be Ghost, are you going to be Shadow? In your battle pass as well, and the characters, I believe, on the map changed as well. I think, I'm not so sure. But yeah, and then also like the bosses started appearing on the map with their mythics and everything. For me, it was a huge first time experience, and I don't think that any other game has captured me like Fortnite did initially, the first time I played it. That's why I will never like, not hate on Fortnite, but I will never like say, oh, like I will never, that's what I'll say, I'll never pretend like I didn't play it. I'll be like, oh, what, Fortnite, man, that game sucks or whatever. I will never be that guy. I was one of those guys that was on Fortnite daily, playing with the boys, playing squads, playing this, playing that, checking out the new updates, checking out the new games, learning tech and stuff like that, because back then also builds was enforced. There was no builds, no zero builds. And I think zero builds, by the way, just to jump to that point, I think it was a good addition because, man, like Fortnite nowadays, even your casual lobbies, I swear, it's so difficult to like even get a game in, man. If you're not winning, or if you're not like having fun playing the game, you automatically want to leave the game. And it's very rare, for example, that I play a game and I'm like, should I stay? Okay, I'll try one more. Especially if I'm not having a good time. I would just leave because I realize like, look, this isn't worth my time. And Fortnite has a weird like skill-based matchmaking thing, it seems that's going on. Because like I can leave my account, like I don't play on it maybe for like a year or something. And I will come back and the game will still throw me in with like FNCS pros. And I'll be like, okay, well, why am I still going up against these people that I had a certain skill level a year ago? But as time went on, I became like rusty and I haven't played for so long. But nah, just throw you in and good luck to you. And the other thing is, I understand that there's ranks and ranked and everything like that, but if you're just playing in a casual lobby, it should be casual matchmaking. If people want to jump into the game and have fun, they want to have fun. And I understand that Zero Build was a big thing. That's the main thing that I always played. I did not try and start playing builds again. because man, like the builds and the stuff like it's so technical, especially when you're on hyping, like when you're in South Africa or when you're in a region that doesn't have servers, then ping is definitely a factor, a big factor. And back then I still played with it because like I still enjoyed the game, and there was other factors that I kind of overlooked the ping in terms of it being like a be all or end all situation for me. But especially when Zero Build happened, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna play that, because building in Fortnite and the ping situation, someone can take your wall, someone can shoot you before you shoot them, someone can place ramps before you, do stuff and edits and stuff like that before you. So it's a very ping based fight. And unfortunately, that is the case with a lot of online games. And if you're not having fun and you're dealing with that, then I understand like you are gonna give in at some point. But yeah. So anyway, from chapter 3, I'm just talking about chapters for some reason. We got the Marvel season, man. Oh my word. People say this is one of the top 5 seasons of all time, and I'm so glad I was there. Especially when Iron Man came to the game. And I think this was the first time, this was the only time that, not the only time, sorry. This is the first time a season was based around a collaboration, which was the Marvel property. And then Iron Man, the whole map was like, not different, but the whole map had different stuff around it that was turned into Marvel themes. So like, I think it was Doom's Domain or Doom something, like Pleasant Park, it turned into like a Doctor Doom POI. And then there was the huge mid-season update with Stark Industries, and they had mythics where you could shoot like a unibeam. They had like other mythics with Doctor Doom that you can throw like this power ball. They had Thor as well, you could drop his hammer. There were so many innovative things that no game was doing at a time. And I think really Fortnite, in my opinion, I think Fortnite kind of set that trend of cross, cross-property collaborations, I guess you could say. Because now you see in Call of Duty, for example, a lot of Call of Duty skins and stuff like that come to the game are like celebrities and stuff from other shows and like different IPs and all that. And a lot of people, I don't know how the COD community feels about that, but yeah, they're saying Fortnite. If you want to do it in Fortnite, go do it in Fortnite. But a lot of the Call of Duty community, especially if it doesn't make any sense on why they're in the game, they're just doing it because it's a collaboration. I understand like where the community is coming from why they're complaining. And also to touch on another thing with the collaborations, I feel like the collaborations in Fortnite used to mean something. I don't want to sound like an old head, like, you'll never believe back in my day. Stuff like that. I will say, when we had the collaborations like the Marvel collaboration I just brought up, there was gameplay changes that assisted with the collaboration being brought to the game, If there's like, if Iron Man comes to the game, Stark Industries POI is in the game, he gets his unibeam, he gets those mythics that are brought to the game. And that changes the gameplay as well. That makes it more fun. That makes it more interesting. It allows their power or allows their abilities to be used in game. And like there was the Silver Surfer board as well. There was the She-Hulk like jump thing. There was the Black Panther mythic as well, where he also had powers. And a lot of people really enjoyed that season, myself included. And the battle pass as well was very stacked, and it came with Mystique with a cool like ability where if you eliminate someone, you can do this emote and change into their skin. I was like, man, I ain't never seen stuff like that at the time, So yeah, so that was like, I would say the best Fortnite experience. And I don't know if I spoke about season 3 with like the water covering over the map. And as the season progressed, the water level subsided. And it was kind of like season 3 was kind of like this continuation after chapter 2, where it's like kind of talking about the fallout of what happened and the events that happened. You can see Brutus there. You can see like other characters as well, like trying to, navigate the waters, of what happened in chapter 2, in season 2. And I think a lot of people also lost interest because of the story, man. Like, I was very invested in the story because, like, I could see, like, okay, here's a trailer. Now we're playing the game. There's mid-season updates during the season. And that keeps the story trading on. And you're following this and you're kind of interested in, oh, what's going to happen next? I remember, actually, the first time when Jonesy spoke, like, wow, people were losing their minds over that. Like, no Fortnite characters ever spoke before, right? So they all just, like, kind of, like, they grunt me, like, oh. Like, I know a lot of people, especially when the henchman came to the game in chapter 2, season 2, a lot of people were doing like funny videos and stuff like that about being henchmen, and henchmen just like were grunting and go, But yeah, I seem kind of silly now. But yeah, like for me, Fortnite, like, look, I don't know where they're going forward with this. I'm not sure what's going on in terms of the state of the game. I haven't spoken to someone recently, and I'm like, hey, are you playing Fortnite? I don't know anybody really that plays Fortnite like they used to, Have we all just like moved on in terms of the experience of Fortnite? Can Fortnite still offer experiences and new experiences, fun experiences to people? I think so. But a lot of the core player base that has been sticking around with Fortnite is, your core audience, people that have been around for a long time, and maybe a few people are tired, playing the game, or maybe they're just waiting to see something new. Because Fortnite has been talking about this huge multiversal expansion, where there was this huge Disney trailer where they're gonna have something in Fortnite that's like a Disney island or a Disney world that you can go to these other characters and go do things and experience. Maybe you can go watch like movies in there, or you can be the skins. But for now, it seems like all the collaboration is just like you can get the skin in the game, and good luck to you. Like, I think, like, if for example, like, if Hercules, if he had to come to the game, or even when Mr. Incredible came to the game, they didn't add a mythic to go with him. Even with Frozone, at least not to my memory. Like, when they all of them came to the game, like Mrs. Incredible as well. There wasn't like no stretchability on the map, like they can use the powers or anything like that. It was just like skins and emotes and call it a day, and then you just run around playing the same game, And also that is a big missed opportunity for people to play to play the games, because there's something that changes in the gameplay, and you as well get the skin. Oh, sorry. Because I know they did something with Jujutsu Kaisen, where they had the Jujutsu Kaisen mythics. Like a lot of the anime collabs, I know they do add like a mythic as well, which is cool, But a lot of the times, especially when they drop it in the shop, like the shop nowadays is so stacked. If you play Fortnite, if you've seen Fortnite recently, you know how full that item shop is. And so many cosmetics and things like that they've dropped in the game is, for me, it's priced outrageously, I mean, if you can argue that, say, if you buy skin in the game in the first place, what on earth are you doing? But like you can like be like, oh, okay, this is reasonable, whatever. But you're still buying like digital currency or digital items, I guess, which people obviously don't agree with. Some people don't agree with. But if you are buying like shoes in the game, like there's this new stuff called kicks, and there's like sidekicks where like dogs can run next to you, or like SpongeBob can run next to you, and those things cost like 1,500. It costs more than the battle pass. Like, what? I don't know. It's because of the collaborations of the companies and the brands that they're collaborating with, that they have to make it this expensive, I suppose. I don't know, And the thing is, because of, like we spoke about the layoffs earlier in this video, people are wondering like, how or why did that have to happen? But the items in the item shop, for example, are like still priced outrageously. Is the cosmetics not making enough money? Are people not buying into it as much as Fortnite or Epic Games thought that they would? Because people were talking about this would be cool, and then Fortnite added it, but the cost of like the V-Bucks price, because I know that also got changed. Like the V-Bucks price is like it costs more now, or it's less V-Bucks that you can buy. Like I think it's 800 V-Bucks instead of 1,000, and the battle pass price changed as well, but to make it like kind of equal, to balance it out. A lot of people are still like saying, no, this is like crazy, why would we have to affect people's lives if we can't change this? And I think maybe it's got to do, like they said, it's got to do with the cosmetics in the game, for example, where it costs so much just to buy skin that you like, or to buy something that you want to buy, but it costs a lot. And now that the V-Bucks price has changed as well, because like I think I've seen somewhere they said they got to change the V-Bucks price to keep the company afloat, or to like pay the bills or something. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on in terms of the what do I want to call it, the financial sphere that's going on right there. Did they think that all these collaborations and all these skins was gonna matter enough for people to buy it? Because let's say, for example, there's like 500,000 people playing Fortnite, right? If only 20,000 people buy skins consistently and buy new collaborations consistently, is that worth it? I guess, maybe. I don't know. Because like a lot of the properties, and they've even got cars that get introduced in not Rocket League, introduced in Fortnite, because they also own Rocket League. I haven't touched on Rocket League yet, but I'll get to that. And they have obviously Mercedes, BMW, McLaren, the Corvettes have been added to the game. Like McQueen is also in Rocket League, not in Fortnite, but it is in Rocket League. And there was a lot of stuff going on there as well. And also the things that I wanted to mention was the closing down or shutting down of some of the minor game modes, So like Rocket Racing, I don't know if anybody knows about that, but no one apparently has been playing it, and there's lack of interest, so they're closing down that. They're shutting it down. They're also shutting down Ballistic. Some people say that they're shutting down. I haven't seen this one, but some people are saying they're shutting down the Lego game mode. And the Lego game mode was massive news at the time for Fortnite. You know, I remember a lot of people being excited for it. That wow, Lego in Fortnite. What could this possibly mean? You know, what does that mean? We're gonna be playing like a mini battle royale with Lego, and you build like walls. But it kind of turned into this mini Minecraft experience, and people didn't enjoy it at launch, and maybe people are enjoying it more as the updates have gone on. But what's the word I'm looking for, man? Oh, I'm going blank. One of the recurring themes that I'm seeing is Fortnite investing a lot of money into this project, because obviously it takes a lot to run a game, especially the game is the magnitude of Fortnite with how big it is globally. They can get Sabrina Carpenter, they can get Dua Lipa, they can get Wiz Khalifa, they can get Snoop Dogg, they can get Eminem in their game, you know, and no other game has done that, and no other game is doing it, but obviously they are doing it in some other ways now that Fortnite's done it for so long. And yeah, all these like investments into this, it's maybe not paying as big of dividends as they thought it would. It's not being made, not enough money is being made back from it, is what I'm trying to say. I'm stuttering so long. And it seems like it's not worth it at the end of the day for doing that. I think that's all my thoughts on the state of Fortnite. Like I said, I don't know where the game is moving on from now, because like the main thing I wanted to talk about was the layoffs, and then go from Fortnite, because I think that is the biggest ties, you know, the fact that people's lives have been changed because of these decisions that these companies are making, and you know, unfortunate maybe investments, you know, in brands and in deals and in collaborations that they thought would pay off massively. But yeah, like I said, unfortunately that people, you know, livelihood and things like that have to change, and have suffered because of it, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna get into quickly. Wow, this video is long. It's like 26 minutes already. I'm gonna get into the Rocket League, the state of Rocket League piece right now. Let's talk about it quickly. I really enjoy the game. I've been playing for a long time, ever since it became free to play. So I wasn't even aware that Rocket League was a thing before 2020, which was kind of crazy. I've never seen anything. Maybe I came across it, but I wasn't like, oh my word, you know, I want to play this. But in 2020, it became free to play. I jumped into it, and man, Rocket League is a very special game. If you don't know about it yet, it's like soccer or football, right? And usually it's 11v11, and usually it's played with people. But the genius and creatives at Psyonix, which is was the company, the parent company at the time, with the developers and everything like that, they decided to replace the people with cars. And you're thinking, what? This is so strange. Like, you mean like racing cars? It's not a racing game. Rocket League is not a racing game. It's more of a sport game. And I'm a huge fan of racing games. So I'm talking about like Burnout, Need for Speed. I'm talking about what other racing game? I recently got into almost said Dirt, but yeah, I did play Dirt Rally. But yeah, I'm a big racing game fan, you know. So I like cars. I like cars inherently just because they look cool and they sound cool, and I like a lot of stuff about cars. And I like sport. I'm a big football fan. I played a lot of FIFAs in my youth, well, my younger youth, and I played a lot of PES as well. And yeah, that's football. So the genius at Psyonix, and I don't even know who came up with this, because I wanted to watch like a documentary or something about it. They combine these two aspects of cars and football, and they put it together, and bang, that is Rocket League. And Rocket League, for the first time when I played it, I knew the game, there was something interesting in the game. The mechanics, the physics, the technical things you can do in that game. It intrigued me, it pulled me into the game to want to play more, to want to get better. It's competitive, okay? And also another important thing, they've got servers here in South Africa. So you're chilling under 20 ping for the most part, or under 30 ping even, which is playable. Very playable, hardly any lag, you know, very smooth gameplay. And yeah, so I played in 2020, and I've been playing very on and off. But I was playing a lot, like between 2020 and 2023. I played a lot, and I was consistently playing, you know, trying to do all these cool things in the game, learning how the ball works, blah, 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 blah. And at that time as well, during myself being so invested in this game, I was very hooked into the esports side. And I haven't watched a lot of esports, like, of different games. The main esports that I've always watched was fighting games. Because before, like, Fortnite and before Rocket League and anything like that, I was a big fighting game player. I still love playing fighting games, but I just don't play it as much nowadays. But fighting games, I used to watch a lot of Mortal Kombat 11. Used to watch a lot of Street Fighter, Street Fighter 5, and then Marvel vs. Capcom 3 as well. All the tournaments that was happening basically. But then I found out there was a competitive side in Rocket League, like this whole competitive sphere called the RLCS. And I should make a video about talking about the greatest esport of all time, which I think that is definitely a contender for various reasons. But I'm not going to get into it here. But yeah, I found out about this whole competitive side about Rocket League. And I was blown away at the stuff that these professionals were doing and pros were doing in the game. And that got me even more intrigued and more hooked to go play the game. I'm not that connected to the competitive side of Fortnite. Like, I wasn't interested in the game for that. I was more interested in the story, you know, the fun things that were going on in the game, because I was a casual. But in Rocket League, I guess you could say I'm a quote-unquote tryhard, or I used to be at least, you know. Nowadays, I'm just like more like, I just play and do like, and try and do cool stuff to make the game fun. But I was definitely invested in the competitive side of the game, and I still am, you know. And the thing is with Rocket League, like the state of Rocket League right now, a lot of people are complaining about the bot situation. Like I think in threes, I was thinking I'm like diamond or something, and I ran into bots there. I'm not talking about like bots, like a lot of people will say bots like, oh, it's just like the in-game AI. These bots are programmed and are coded. You can search on YouTube, like you can search best bots in Rocket League, the new ones that are coming out these days. They're coded so perfectly because they know how to play the game at a perfect level, because obviously the bots, they know their positioning, they know how to beat like players in defensive situations, offensive situations. Their movement is perfect, their control is perfect. The physics are built into their coding, I suppose, you know, which is why they know how to do everything and do everything so perfectly. And they're beating pros and everything like that. And I never ran into bots before. I ran into them and I was like, oh my word, maybe this problem is like, because I thought it was just affecting like the top level, which is still a problem, obviously, because a lot of the content creators and a lot of the professionals that play in the ranks, you know, it's a weird case, I would say, with Rocket League, because Rocket League, most of your content creators that are still left, before like the trading stuff, which I'll get into, was, you know, your what was your trading people, and that's before, but I'll get into that, like I said. But right now, your professionals, you know, that are able to play in these high level lobbies, are able to provide this content for you, or for people that you can't usually, you know, get anywhere. Because like, it's weird that you can watch like professional Rocket League constantly, because people, professionals have like content creator channels. It's not like, for example, if you look at like normal football, like I don't know, I can't really compare it to anything. For example, like if you have to say, like, for example, Cristiano Ronaldo at his prime, he didn't launch a YouTube channel and say, hello guys, welcome to the YouTube channel, I'm wearing a body cam in Champions League and stuff like that, you know. And then he goes to play Champions League and you just see his POV, and he talks about it like to the camera after the game, whatever. With Rocket League, like the community is, I would say personally, a lot of the community is very closely tied to the competitive scene. So a lot of the community of Rocket League knows about professional Rocket League players and knows about them and knows about their content and everything like that. So I found out about it, that there was a big issue of bots in the high ranked lobbies. So that was a big thing that's ruining competitive and ruining like people's recordings and stuff like that. So I don't know if Epic has said things that they're gonna fix and everything like that. But recently I just watched a video where one of the content creators complaining about bots, and yeah, a lot of people are not happy about that. And then I want to get to the trading aspect. Trading in Rocket League was such a massive thing. Like, it's a huge part of the community that's existed prior to Epic, way before Epic like even bought Rocket League. There was a huge community that used to trade. There's this website actually that you can go on, or you used to go on, I should say, where there's like this huge kind of spreadsheet with all the items and how much credits it's worth, who you can trade with, and everything like that. They leave their PSN or their Xbox or whatever, and you can kind of like connect like in the game, and you can open up this trading window, and you can say like, okay, I didn't play in season 4, for example, right? And there's this decal that I want for my car, but I never played it, so I couldn't obtain it. But now this guy has it, and he's willing to sell it for X amount of credits. Let's say 100 credits. I'm able to buy that item from that player that owns that. And most of the time, it could only just be like the painted tiers. Like, you couldn't trade anything from the actual rocket pass at the time. It could only be the extended ones, the extra levels of painted items. But yeah, that was such a cool thing, because I was able to buy all these gold explosions and like decals and wheels and stuff like that from seasons that I never played prior, you know. And I thought that was the most genius thing ever, that this ecosystem exists in this game. And I loved it. I really did. And then a lot of people, Epic got a lot of flack for removing trading. And a lot of people in the community were upset about this, were against it, were trying to boycott Epic, say, don't buy anything in the item shop, guys. Don't do this, don't do that. Let's show how much we care about trading. Put trading back in the game. Why would you remove it? And a lot of reasons were from the Epic side, obviously, were because it goes against terms of service of stuff. I suppose the fact that it was kind of like a mini marketplace, because Rocket League has its own item shop, right? Like there's this decal Interstellar. It's like a black market, like one of the highest, well, actually the highest rarity of items in the game, right? So black market decal, it's in the item shop for 2,000 credits. Now, that's a boatload of credits, and it's a lot of real life money that you have to, I guess, like not invest, but you have to buy the in-game credits so you can buy the item. So there was 2,000. It was sitting in the item shop, for example, like in the item shop, it's 2,000 credits. You can buy it there. But because trading exists, trading's market value is so much different compared to the way Epic prices their items. So if you wanted to trade for it, you could trade it for 800 credits. So you can buy like an unpainted Interstellar or whatever paint Interstellar at varies, but you could buy Interstellar through trading for 800 credits or like 900 or whatever. And you would find good deals sometimes. Some people were selling it for like 800, 700 just to get rid of it sometimes, because maybe they have a lot of duplicates. And that was, I guess, where Epic was coming from. Like, how are we supposed to make money out of Rocket League if this huge trading community exists and our item shop is standing still? Why would people want to buy the same item for more when they can buy it through the trading process for less? So a lot of people were complaining about that the fact that they took it away and everything like that. From a certain standpoint, I can understand why they did it, but the way they did it, at least they gave us like, I don't know how long, I think they gave you like a month notice, like, hey, trading is leaving on this day. And a lot of people still didn't want to accept that this was actually happening, but then it did. Sorry. And then it disappeared, and now you can't trade anymore. So Epic has been losing, like, especially from like Epic has been losing a lot of the community from these games like Fortnite and Rocket League as well. Because of decisions that they've made and because of certain changes they make to these games, that has these core audiences, features that has been in the game for a long time. To touch back on the Rocket League, they are making good changes as well in terms of quality of life changes. Like there was this boost meter change recently where you can see when a big 100 boost is respawning. That is cool for the game. And also they added a flip reset indicator. So like when you hit the ball, you get a flip and you can like kind of see it. It'll indicate so you have your flip again, which was something, I guess. And they added a boost meter next to your teammate like a while ago to see how much boost they have to make the play accordingly. But those are all like, quality of life changes for the game in terms of making the game, I guess, more complete in terms of like the way you play the game. But a lot of things are still lacking from Fortnite with like modes and extra things to do in the game. Because for Rocket League, like there's your main game mode. You got 1v1, 2v2, 3v3. 4v4 was a recent addition to the game, and yeah, it wasn't competitive. Now it's not in competitive. If you're trying to look for 4v4 games, I try to look for 4v4 games. I can't find anything. It says queue time 10 minutes. You gotta wait 10 minutes just to find a game. So I don't know what the situation is with that. Then they've got hoops, which is like a basketball game mode where on the map is like a huge hoop that you kind of like have to hit it in instead of like hit it into a goal. So like in football. So there's that. Then there's snow day where you gotta play like with a hockey puck, And there's this drop shot as well where you gotta break the floor. And then there's this other one as well with Heat Seeker, where you touch the ball and the ball flies automatically towards the goalpost, and you kind of bounce it back and forth. Automatically it will bounce off your car. You don't have to like hit it. It will automatically like heat seek basically to the net. There, that's self-explanatory. But there's a lot of people that said that we need new game modes, interesting game modes, creative game modes, and content creators, and a very popular, very big content creator. He's also very creative. Leslamir. He has made dozens of maps, that use that use Rocket League's engine and use Rocket League's physics as a base. Like I think Rocket League as a game, its physics as a base it's difficult to change. I don't think they should ever change it in terms of how the game works, like how you jump, how the ball bounces off your car. Changing things like that, especially for the pro scene. Like I said, the pro scene is one of the biggest things in the Rocket League. If you watch Rocket League, more often than not, you would know about the professional scene. At least I assume so. But yeah, there's a lot of things that Lethem are made with, like mini golf maps. Putting putting 4 goals on the map, so it will be like a normal standard Rocket League map, but the goals are in the corner instead of in the middle. And making like big 5v5 maps. Making maps where the goal is higher. Doing other game modes, I think like tennis. I think he's done a tennis one, for example. And a lot of people are asking, why aren't these creative ideas, in the game yet? Because a lot of things are being kind of like, not, what's the term I want to use for? You can do a lot of things in Rocket League on PC, I should say. PC, because there's this thing called Buckets mod, which is being removed, by the way. I didn't even get to that. Now that I'm actually segued to that. Buckets mod is this huge thing that's been existing in Rocket League, where you can use items on your car and stuff like that. And there's like plugins where you can do certain things in the game that you can't normally do. So PC has this other version of Rocket League, basically, and everyone else, like on console, is just playing normal Rocket League. But on PC, you can do all these custom workshop maps. You can play these custom things, and like if you've got like, but even they say it's difficult to set up. But a lot of people are having fun with that. But yeah, like mini golf, tennis. I don't know, baseball or whatever you want to do. A lot of things in Rocket League, there's a lot of room for experimentation, in my opinion. And I guess the question you have to ask is like, why haven't they brought him on yet? What are they waiting for? Are they going to still, change the engine in terms of, because I think like Rocket League is an Unreal Engine 2 or 3 or something, one of the two. And man, it's been a long time since we've heard of Unreal Engine 2 or 3. I don't know what other games are still on there, or have been on there, I should say. But it's been a big change in the gaming sphere since then, and I guess I would say the difficult thing is to recreate the physics. I suppose I'm not an engineer or coder or anything like that. To put those kind of physics in a modern version of Unreal Engine 5, and is it worth it in terms of the cost and the development, development time and everything like that? Are they going to invest all this time? Is people going to jump in? Are new people going to jump in? Is the player base going to expand? I don't know. Like Rocket League right now, I feel like if you don't enjoy like the basics of Rocket League, but if something doesn't grab you about Rocket League, there isn't much else to entice you to play the game, because like it's basically just, like I said, car soccer, with a lot of technical stuff. And if you don't enjoy that, you won't necessarily be pulled towards playing the game at its core, because it's very basic in terms of like the stuff that you can do in the game. Like, oh, let me hit the ball into this goal. Oh, let me hit the ball into that goal. Oh, let me hit the ball into the floor. Stuff like that, Nothing really changes the way you play the game in terms of like other stuff. There's like limited time modes that come and go, but hardly people ever play it, so it's difficult to even find games or queue for games for it, because no one's playing them. I guess that's kind of like the opposite. It's a double-edged sword where like the community is very invested in the competitive side, but they're so interested, like no one plays like any of the casual stuff. And the thing is, if you want casual people to jump into the game, you gotta offer them game modes and interesting stuff to do, So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say about Rocket League. I think you could talk about Rocket League like and Fortnite even forever. But yeah, let me just close off the video. This is a very long video. This is like the longest video I've ever recorded on my channel. The future of Epic Games and like about the properties and stuff. Like, listen, a lot of people, like I said, we spoke about the layoffs in the beginning and about it being the biggest thing, the fact that these people are being let go. And what does that mean for the future of Epic Games, for Rocket League, for Fortnite? Because Epic Games, is making these claims and making these promises like, oh my word, we're gonna hit stronger back this season with Fortnite. There's gonna be new this, new that, and everything like that. And with Rocket League as well, Rocket League's changing. It's going into a new direction. There's gonna be so much to do. We're gonna get rid of bots. It's gonna be better, blah 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 blah. And now, like, after hearing this kind of news, what does this mean for the future of these games? Who is still working on these games? Are they going to be putting in more effort to improve the game? You know, so on and so forth. Like, I don't know. A lot of people, like I said, I made a video a while back about the fact that Fortnite will never die. And a lot of people are saying as soon as GTA 6 comes out, man, if Fortnite is still like in the similar state that it is now, with like the quality of what's going on in the games and what's happening with the game modes and everything like that, what's gonna happen? You know, everyone's gonna jump ship. Everyone's looking for a new experience, for a fun experience, to have fun with their friends, playing games, you know, and almost said Gran Turismo. And GTA is one of those games where it's so rich in content that you can play that game forever almost. People are still playing GTA 5 to this day, and it's still getting a lot of views, and it's still getting a lot of engagement because the game is so well made, you know? Yeah. And what also, I was gonna say something else now actually about Fortnite. The fact that we look into the future and about Fortnite and where it's all going and the future of Epic Games. With Fortnite, a lot of people were saying that the fact that they were investing so much on this like interconnected universe with all these IPs, you know, because there was this huge trailer that they, like I said, that they released for the Disney thing. They had like the sports little portal as well where you could do sports in it and everything. But none of that stuff's happened yet. You know, I was under the impression a long time ago, that we were going to be able to play basketball in Fortnite. Like you could go into Fortnite, launch a basketball map, and play like using your Fortnite skins. You know, even with football or anything else like that, where you could get talented developers to come to the game, to join like Fortnite's development team, and they can make these game modes inside of Fortnite. You know, I was under the impression that was gonna happen a while ago, and it hasn't happened yet. So yeah, I guess we'll see. You know what happens about the future of Epic Games and about like these other games. You know, for me, I'm keeping my eye like on Rocket League in terms of like seeing what's happening with the updates and what's gonna change. You know, I'm also I wouldn't say concerned about the esports scene, but the esports scene, man, like, oh, I love the esports scene. Like, I love watching it. I love a lot of the personalities that there is, you know, in the competitive Rocket League space, the storylines, the teams, you know, the whole event. If you ever want to do yourself a favor, just go like watch RLCS highlights. You know, but search RLCS LAN highlights. So like they play like in a venue. The venue is so stacked up. Like they've got fans there. It's so good, man. And like I said, this is one of my arguments for like the best esports of all time. It's so good. And it's so good and simple to understand as well, to watch it, because it's like football. You know, football is one of those sports where you can turn on TV and someone can tell, okay, there's two teams. I see the person with the ball and they're moving the ball around. Oh, they scored a goal. Oh, I see the point go up, you know, and they understand the game as simple as that. They don't understand the technical dribbling or nutmegs or elastico or, you know, dropping a shoulder, stuff like that. They don't need to understand that to enjoy watching football. But you can enjoy both aspects, you know, if you are clued up to the game, if you become invested in the game, you can kind of understand and appreciate the game on a deeper level, which is what happened with me with Rocket League. But yeah, thank you for sitting. If you guys have stuck to the end of the video, comment. Damn, I don't know what to comment. Sheesh. Let's say, wow, I'm eating a blank here. But yeah, comment down. Oh, I was gonna say we love Rocket League or we love Fortnite. That sounds a little cringe. I don't know. Let's say, if you got to the end of the video, then this is the final one. If you got to the end of the video, say, nah, I don't know. I'm blanking. I want to make it something silly like saying this is the end, or it sounds so weird, man. I don't know. I'm eating a blank here. I was trying to think for so long, like what to say on this like outro, about what to comment, because I don't know if anyone's gonna watch like 50 minutes. Man, this is long. You know, but like I said, I did tell you in the beginning, this is one of those videos where I'm gonna be like super into it. It's gonna be like a stream, basically. You know, it's just of me talking to myself in the car. But yeah. Okay, no, if you made it to the end of the video, Okay, wait, yeah, I've got one. If you've made it to the end of the video, put in your favorite Fortnite chapter season. And if you play the Rocket League, do it for your Rocket League season. Or comment down below one of those two things, something about those games. Something with elite ball knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Tell me something like, from this battle pass, did you know about that variant of the skin? Or in Rocket League, do you remember when this item came out? Or when this player did this at LAN? Blah, 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 blah. Something interesting about one of those two games. Maybe I haven't heard of it, and maybe we can connect and talk about that. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Super long video, man. You must let me know if I must do more of these, like talking about certain topics for like so long. I feel like I said I want to get to streaming and I want to do something that's more interactive with like my community. But yeah, we're working towards it, man. We're working towards it. But that's gonna be it for this one, guys. Take care. Have an awesome day. Thank you for sticking with me for this video. I appreciate you all. I love you all, and I want you guys to take care of yourself. And yeah, it's almost weekend time as well. So woo, you know, it's Friday tomorrow. So yeah, enjoy your day, enjoy your evening. Whenever you guys are watching this, comment down something below, your thoughts and everything like that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.